My name is Subulade, and I'm a therapist at Simplicity Psychotherapy. Clients say they appreciate working with me because I create a space that's warm, empathetic, and it's really the first time they've ever been heard or listened to. One of the things in the feedback that I've ever received is the fact that I didn't really notice how unheard I felt until I got to that space with you. Let's have a conversation. Let's get an understanding of what's going on. I try to create a warm, curious space that allows them to say, hey, this is just simply two people meeting up together where we have a conversation and I get an understanding of what's going on. And once I get that understanding of what's going on, we go from there. We build upon that relationship that we're developing. And to have a desire to work with Black adolescents and teenagers. I also really have a passion for first generation Americans as well, because I am a first generation as well. I love working with Black men because I find oftentimes there's not a space where Black men have the opportunity and chance to share feelings or things that they're struggling with. This is a conversation or a chance for them to chop it up, really work through some of the things they never got the chance to, and create a space that feels natural to them. I also love working with Black women because there's an expectation for them to show up as the superwoman. And this is an opportunity and chance for them to drop that cape and to really be able to explore and discuss some of the feelings that they've never gotten a chance to. In the therapeutic space, oftentimes these first generations come in and they have this expectation where they need to succeed consistently. Their parents have come to the country and they have this expectation to say, you must succeed in this space. And it creates a lot of pressure. It builds up for them, and they're not sure necessarily how to vent or deal with some of these feelings and these expectations, these obligations. And this is a completely new world and space where they don't necessarily have a guide. It's up to them to figure it out, and it's up to them to navigate and to come up with their own solutions. And so in the space, this is for them to really express some of these difficult feelings and some of the thoughts that they never really had the opportunity and chance to explore. And so in doing so, we come up with certain solutions that help them navigate not only the space and the world that's new to them, but also navigate some of the feelings and the conversations they want to have with maybe their parents or those in their lives, and create meaningful relationships. Some of the challenges and themes I like helping clients work through is trauma, right? Because there's a definition of what trauma is, and it's this experience or this negative thing that happened to you, that impacted you in a way that still impacts you to this day, that may come up for you in difficult ways, right? There's this idea and this definition of what it is, but there's no way to necessarily navigate that. So if you come into this space, we navigate what happened, and we also help you to find new ways to deal with it and interact with the world. Some other things like depression. Depression shows up in a lot of ways. It's a sadness that you struggle to get out of bed some days, right? And it's helping you navigate and deal with that sadness. A space to explore it and some ways to deal with it. Life transitions. This is a crazy world. And oftentimes things happen, things change, and we're unprepared for it. And so this is also a space to help you deal with that and accommodate and adapt. You are the most important person in that room at that moment. And while we're having this conversation, there will be moments where things come up that you weren't necessarily prepared for. And I think it's really important that when you come into this space that you're attended to. And so when these things come up for you, there's nothing wrong with us taking a moment to pause. Taking a moment to really listen to what's going on. And that's where the real magic happens. That's where we're really able to work through these things. The way I celebrate the wins with clients when they notice that aha moment, or their bandwidth expands and they recognize it, I think and sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't necessarily recognize something that they've done in session that's really impactful and important. And for me, I like to take a pause. And I like to point it out for them, like, you don't realize what you just did there. And I like to bring up the growth that sort of happened when they initially first came in. We're the most important person in that room at that moment. And while we're having this conversation, there will be moments where things come up that you weren't necessarily prepared for. And I think it's really important that when you come into this space that you're attended to. And so when these things come up for you, there's nothing wrong with us taking a moment to pause. Taking a moment to really listen to what's going on. And that's where the real magic happens. That's where we're really able to work through these things. So I want to invite you to schedule a free consultation for a chance to be heard. So my name is Subulade, and you can find me at Simplicity Psychotherapy.